Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Crochet for Baby. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet this little jacket for a baby boy between 6 and 9 months old. You can also make it for little girls. At the end of the tutorial I give you the finished measurements and I also tell you how you can make it smaller or bigger. Okay, so I hope you like it, and without further ado, let's get started, and thank you for watching. Okay, to begin, I'll be using this 3.5mm crochet hook, and today I'm using this light number 3 baby yarn. So to begin, I have 54 chains. This chain here measures about 9.5 inches, which is about 24 centimeters. Now, to begin, on the third chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to make a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook into that third chain, grab a loop, 3 loops on the hook, close. Again, yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, grab a loop, 3 loops on the hook, close. This is all I'm going to do for this first row. I'm just going to make half double crochets on each one of these chains. Continue like this for this first row, and I'll meet you at the end to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of this first row. This is where we did half double crochets. I have a total of 53 half double crochets, including the 2 chains here at the beginning. Now for the second row, we're going to chain 2. These 2 chains never count as a double crochet. Now turn. Here in this row, we're going to make 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and into the next stitch we're going to make 2 double crochets. So let me show you. On top of the first half double crochet, make a double crochet into the next, that's 2, double crochet into the next, that's 3 double crochets. Into the next stitch, make 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. This is how you're going to continue for this second row. Again, make 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and into the next 2 double crochets into the same stitch, 1 and 2. Continue like this all the way to the end of this second row. I will meet you right about here to show you how we're going to finish this second row. I'm here at the end of this second row. Here at the end, I finished by making 4 double crochets, and I have a total of 64 double crochets. Now for the third row, chain 2 and turn. The 3 chains never count as a double crochet. In this row, we're going to make 4 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next 2 double crochets. So let me show you. On top of the first double crochet, make a double crochet, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, into the next 2 double crochets into the same stitch. This is going to be our repeat sequence for this third row. Again, make 4 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next 2 double crochets. This is how you're going to continue for the third row. Here at the end, you're going to finish with 4 double crochets just like we did on the second row. So I will meet you here at the end of this third row to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of this third row. I have a total of 76 double crochets. Now for the fourth row, chain 2 and turn. In this row, we're going to make 5 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the next 2 double crochets. So let me show you. Beginning on top of the first double crochet, make a double crochet, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the next 2 double crochets into the same stitch like this. Now again, you're going to repeat the same thing. You're going to make 5 double crochets and into the next 2 double crochets. At the end of this fourth row, you're going to have a total of 88 double crochets. I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making this fourth row. I have a total of 88 double crochets. Now here what I did is I just put a stitch marker into this last loop. This is because we're going to change color here. We're going to leave this white yarn here pending. So on top of this last double crochet that we did, insert your hook there I'm going to use this blue color. So grab a loop, chain 1, and turn. Now in this row, what we're going to do is I'm going to make 6 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and into the next 2 single crochets. So let me show you. Into this first double crochet, make your first single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Into the next 2 single crochets into the same stitch, 1 and 2. Now again, make 6 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and into the next 2 single crochets into the same stitch. This is how you're going to continue for this 5th row. You're going to make 6 single crochets and into the next 2 single crochets. At the end of this 5th row, you're going to have a total of 100 single crochets. I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm almost done with this 5th row. Now I still have these 4 stitches left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a single crochet into the next and 2 single crochets into this next stitch. Here I'm going to add 1 extra stitch so that at the end of this row I have now 101 single crochets. I know initially when we started this row, I told you we were going to have 100, but I need to add 1 extra stitch, and I'm going to do it here. You can do it here, just don't do it at the end. So now for this 5th row, I have 101 single crochets. Now for the 6th row, you're going to chain 2 and turn. These 2 chains do not count as a double crochet. Now on top of this first single crochet, this one here, make a double crochet. Skip the next single crochet, and into the next I'm going to make a bean stitch. So insert your hook into that stitch, grab a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, 6 loops on the hook. See, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Grab a loop, close, chain 1. This is how we're going to work these bean stitches. One more time, skip 1 single crochet and into the next, insert your hook, grab a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, 6 loops, close, chain 1. Make sure that these loops are nice and loose so that your hook doesn't get caught when you close your bean stitch. One more time, skip 1 single crochet and into the next, insert your hook, grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, 6 loops, close, chain 1. Continue like this for this 6th row. I'll meet you at the end to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of this 6th row. Up to here I have a total of 49 bean stitches. Now to finish, skip 1 single crochet and into the last single crochet here at the end, make a double crochet. And this is how I finish this 6th row with 49 bean stitches. Now for the 7th row, chain 1 and turn. Into this chain 1 space here, make a single crochet. Then between each of the bean stitches, we have 2 holes. We have 1 and 2. Into the first, make a single crochet. Into the next, make a single crochet. Again, open the next 2, and you'll see the 2 gaps here. Into the first, make a single crochet, and into the next, a single crochet. Continue like this for this 7th row. I will meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of this 7th row. This is where we did single crochets, and I have a total of 100 single crochets. Now I've cut my yarn, so I'm just going to pass my yarn through this last loop, and this row here is done, and I have a total of 100 single crochets for this 7th row. Now here on this side, this is where we had the stitch marker holding one of the loops. What I did was I cut my yarn and I just passed my yarn through that last loop. It's going to be easier for me to start here on this end using that color. So here we're going to go on top of the last single crochet that we did there. Insert your hook, grab a loop with this white color, chain 2 and turn. 1, 2. Now for this 8th row, we're going to make 7 double crochets. So beginning on top of this first single crochet right here, make a double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double crochets, and into the next make 2 double crochets into the same stitch. This is going to be our repeat sequence. So again, make 7 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double crochets, and into the next single crochet make 2 double crochets. This is how you're going to continue for this 8th row. At the end of this 8th row, you should have a total of 112 double crochets. I will meet you here at the end of this 8th row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this 8th row. I have a total of 112 double crochets. Now, I cut my yarn here at the end, pass my yarn through that last loop. Now, I'm going to insert my hook on top of this last double crochet, and I'm going to grab this blue yarn. So grab this loop, bring it through the front, chain 1. Here we're going to repeat the same thing we did here in these last 3 rows, in these 3 rows here. So chain 1, turn. Now in this 9th row, we're going to make 8 single crochets, and into the next stitch 2 single crochets into the same stitch. So beginning here on top of this first double crochet, make your first single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single crochets, and into the next 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Again, you're going to repeat 8 single crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single crochets, and into the next make 2 single crochets. This is how you're going to continue for this 9th row. So continue like this, and I'll meet you here at the end of this 9th row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this 9th row. This is where we did single crochets, and I have a total of 124 single crochets. Now for the 10th row, chain 2 and turn. These 2 chains do not count as a double crochet. On top of this first single crochet, I'm going to make a double crochet. Into the next single crochet, I'm going to make a bean stitch. So insert your hook, grab a loop, yarn over, insert your hook again, grab a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, 6 loops on the hook. That's 2, 4, 6, close, chain 1. Now skip 1 single crochet and into the next. Again, repeat 1 bean stitch. So grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, 6 loops, close, chain 1. Again, skip 1 single crochet and into the next make another bean stitch. This is how we're going to continue for this 10th row. So continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this 10th row. I have a total of 61 bean stitches. Now to finish, I'm going to skip this next single crochet, and here at the end, I'm going to make a double crochet right there. And this is how I finished this 10th row with 61 bean stitches. Now for the 11th row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. On top of this first double crochet right here, I'm going to make a single crochet. Between the first bean stitch and this last double crochet right here, I'm going to make a single crochet. Then into each one of these gaps, I'm going to make a single crochet like this. So 1 and 2. Between the next two, 1 and 2. Continue like this, making single crochets. I'll meet you here at this end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making this 11th row and I have a total of 124 single crochets. Now I cut my yarn and I just passed my yarn through that last loop. Here for row 12, I'm going to go here on top of this last single crochet that I did. I'm going to grab this loop, bring it through the front. This is in this color white. We're going to do the double crochet row with increases. So here, chain 2 and turn. These 2 chains never count as a stitch. In this row, I'm going to make a total of 9 double crochets and into the next 2 double crochets. So let me show you. On top of this last single crochet, this one here, I'm going to make my first double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 double crochets into the next 2 double crochets into the same stitch. This is how you're going to continue for this 12th row. You're going to repeat 9 double crochets and into the next 2 double crochets, and then continue all the way to the end. At the end of this 12th row, you're going to have a total of 136 double crochets. I'll meet you here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making this 12th row. At the end of the 12th row, I have a total of 136 double crochets. Here, I cut my yarn and passed my yarn through that last loop. Now, in the next 3 rows, we're going to repeat these 3 rows where we do single crochets, bean stitch, and then single crochet. So, beginning on top of this last double crochet, insert your hook. Now, grab a loop. I'm going to use this blue color again, and chain 1. Now, turn. In this row, I'm going to make 10 single crochets and into the next 2 single crochets. So beginning here on top of this first double crochet, make your first single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 single crochets and into the next 2 single crochets into the same stitch. This is how you're going to continue for this 13th row. You're just going to repeat and make 10 single crochets and into the next 2 single crochets. At the end of this 13th row, you're going to have a total of 148 single crochets. I will meet you here at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this 13th row. I have a total of 148 single crochets. Now for the 14th row, chain 2 and turn. The 2 chains never count as a stitch. Now, on top of this first single crochet, I'm going to make a double crochet. Into the next single crochet, I'm going to make a bean stitch. So insert your hook, grab a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, 6 loops, close, chain 1. Skip 1 single crochet and into the next, make another bean stitch. 6 loops, close, chain 1. Again, skip 1 single crochet and into the next, another bean stitch. 6 loops, close, chain 1. Continue like this for this 14th row. I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of this 14th row. Up to here I have 73 bean stitches. Now to finish, skip 1 single crochet and into this last one make 1 double crochet. And this is how I finished the 14th row. Now for the 15th row, chain 1 and turn. On top of this first double crochet, make a single crochet. Between the bean stitch and the double crochet right here, make a single crochet. Then between the two bean stitches right here and right here, you're going to make a single crochet. So 2 single crochets between each of the bean stitches. Okay, so continue like this for this 15th row. At the end of this row, you should have a total of 148 single crochets. I'll meet you at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this 15th row. Here, I just cut my yarn and passed my yarn through that last loop. I have a total of 148 single crochets. Now, the yoke is done, and it's measuring about 4.5 inches. Let's see, it's about 4.5 inches, which is about 11.5 centimeters. Okay, so now what we're going to do in the next row is we're going to divide our sleeves. So we have a total of 148 single crochets. So we have 20 and 20 for the front panels, 34 and 34 for the sleeves, and 40 for the back. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to go here on top of the first single crochet, grab a loop, bring it through the front, and chain 2, turn. These 2 chains do not count as a stitch here. Now here I'm going to work 20 double crochets. So beginning on top of this first single crochet, I'm going to make my first double crochet. Double crochet on top of the next, double crochet, and so on. Continue and make these 20 double crochets, and I'll meet you right about here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making these 20 double crochets, not including the 2 chains. Now to divide the sleeve, we're going to chain 5. That's 3, 4, 5. We're going to skip 34, and into the stitch after the stitch marker, we're going to make a double crochet. Here we're going to work these 40 double crochets, so I'll meet you right about here to show you what we need to do next. I finished making these 40 double crochets. Now again, we're going to chain 5. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to skip 34, and into the stitch after the stitch marker, we're going to make a double crochet. Now here we should finish with 20 single crochets. So continue, and I'll meet you right about here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making these last 20 double crochets. So now for the first row, we have 20 double crochets, 20 double crochets, and then for the back we have 40 double crochets. So that's a total of 80 double crochets for this first row. I forgot to mention that we're going to start counting rows since this is where we divided our sleeves. Now don't forget that we also have 5 chains here under the sleeve. Okay, so now I'm going to continue and work this same pattern. So we work 1 row of double crochets, then 1 row of single crochets, then the bean stitch row, and then 1 row of single crochets. So in this next row, I'm going to keep the white color for the rest of the sweater. If you want to alternate between the 2 colors, you can. I'm just going to do the rest of the sweater in white. So now here to continue for the second row, I'm going to chain 1 and turn. On top of this first double crochet, I'm going to make a single crochet into the next stitch, and so on. Finish making these 20 single crochets, and I'll meet you right about here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making these 20 single crochets, and now on each one of these 5 chains, I did 2 single crochets on each one. So I have 10 single crochets here where we have the 5 chains. Now, we're going to go on top of the first double crochet that's here, and we're also going to make a single crochet. Here for this back part, we're going to work 40 single crochets. Then you're going to do the exact same thing we did here. You're going to work 2 single crochets for each one of the chains. Then you're going to work these 20 single crochets, and I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, before we finish this second row, I have done a total of 19 single crochets. This is the back. I told you to continue and work this part here, but before we do that, I need to add 1 extra single crochet. So I'm going to add it right here in the back, right in the center. So right here into this 20th double crochet, I'm going to make 2 single crochets. And now I'm just going to continue and finish this second row like I told you. I need to add that one extra single crochet because I need to finish this with 101 single crochet. So continue now, finish this part. Don't forget to add 2 single crochets for each one of the chains and then finish with these last 20 single crochets. I'll meet you at the end of this second row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making this second row and I have a total of 101 double crochets. So for the front panels, I have 20 on each side. Then I have under the sleeve, we have 10 on this side and 10 on the other side. And for the back side, we have 41 single crochets. So that's a total of 101 single crochets. So now in the next row, the third row, we're going to work the row of bean stitch. So here we're going to chain 2 and turn. On top of the first single crochet, I'm going to make a double crochet. Then I'm going to skip this single crochet and into the next I'm going to make my bean stitch. So to make the bean stitch again, insert your hook, grab a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, 6 loops on the hook, close, chain 1. Again, skip 1 single crochet and into the next, repeat the same thing. Make 1 bean stitch, 6 loops, close, chain 1. Skip 1 single crochet and into the next, same thing. Make sure that these loops are nice and loose and each one of them is at the same level so that they all look nice and uniform. Now close, chain 1. Now continue like this for this third row. Here under the sleeve, you're not going to do anything differently. You're just going to work in the same way right here. Then you're going to continue and finish this third row. So I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of this third row. I have a total of 49 bean stitches. Now to finish, skip this single crochet and on top of the last single crochet, make a double crochet. And that's how I finish this third row. Now for the fourth row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. On top of this first double crochet, make a single crochet. Between the bean stitch and the double crochet right here, make a single crochet. Then between each one of the bean stitches, we have 2 little holes. So on each one, you're going to make a single crochet like this. So single crochet and single crochet, single crochet and single crochet. Continue like this for this fourth row. At the end of this row, you should have a total of 101 single crochets. I'll meet you at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this fourth row. I have a total of 101 single crochets. Now for the fifth row, chain 2 and turn. The 2 chains never count as a stitch. Now here we're going to make 22 double crochets. So beginning on top of this first single crochet, make your first double crochet into the next, and so on. Continue, and I'll meet you right about here once we have 22 double crochets to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making these 22 double crochets. Remember, the 2 chains never count as a stitch. Now, between these stitch markers, I have 7 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, into the first single crochet, make 2 double crochets. Into the second, make 1 double crochet. Into the third, make 2 double crochets. Into the fourth, make 1 double crochet. Into the fifth, make 2 double crochets. Into the sixth, make 1 double crochet, and into the seventh, make 2 double crochets. Okay, so this is how we're going to work these stitches under the sleeve. Now you should have 11 double crochets, so let's count them. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 double crochets. Now here you're just going to continue and work 1 double crochet on each one of the single crochets from the previous row. When you come to the other sleeve here, same thing. You're going to mark 7 stitches here, and you're going to do the exact same thing I just did here so that you end with 11 double crochets here, and then finish with these last 22 stitches. Continue like this, and I'll meet you at the end of this 5th row to show you what we need to do next. At the end of this 5th row, you should have a total of 109 double crochets. Okay, finished making this 5th row. I have a total of 109 double crochets. Now for the 6th row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. In this row, we're going to work the row of single crochets, then the row of bean stitch, and then again the row of single crochets. So for this 6th row, you're going to chain 1, and on top of this first double crochet, make a single crochet on top of the next, single crochet on top of the next, and so on. This is all we're going to do for this 6th row. At the end of this row, you should have 109 single crochets. I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this 6th row. I have a total of 109 single crochets. Now for the 7th row, we're going to chain 2 and turn. In this row, we're going to repeat the row of bean stitches. So beginning on top of this first single crochet, make a double crochet. Then skip 1 single crochet, and into the next, make your first bean stitch. So insert your hook, grab a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, 6 loops on the hook, close, chain 1. Again, skip 1 single crochet, and into the next, make your next bean stitch. 6 loops, close, chain 1. One more time, skip 1 single crochet, and into the next, grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, 6 loops, close, chain 1. Continue like this for this 7th row, and I'll meet you at the end to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of this 7th row. I have a total of 53 bean stitches. Now to finish, we're going to skip 1 single crochet, and into the last single crochet, make a double crochet. And this is how I finished this 7th row with 53 bean stitches. Now for the 8th row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. In this 8th row, we're going to repeat the row of single crochets again. So beginning on top of the first double crochet, make a single crochet. Then between the bean stitch and the double crochet, make a single crochet. And then here we're going to work 2 single crochets. So into the first, make a single crochet, into the second hole, make a single crochet, and then again repeat the same thing, 2 single crochets between the bean stitches. Like this, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Continue like this. At the end of this 8th row, you should have a total of 109 single crochets. I'll meet you there to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of this 8th row. Here at the end, don't forget to also make your last 2 single crochets into these 2 spaces there. There's 1 and there's 2. And then on top of the double crochet, also make your last single crochet. Now I have a total of 109 single crochets. For the next row, this is the row where we do the double crochets. So here, chain 2 and turn. On top of this single crochet, make your first double crochet, then 1 double crochet for each one of the single crochets from the previous row. At the end of this 9th row, you should have a total of 109 double crochets. Continue like this, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of this 9th row. I have a total of 109 double crochets. So for the 10th row, you're going to make the row of single crochets. So chain 1, turn. On top of this first double crochet, make your first single crochet into the next, single crochet into the next, and so on. At the end of this 10th row, you're going to have a total of 109 single crochets. Then you're going to repeat the row of bean stitches. That's going to be your row number 11. At the end of the 11th row, you're going to have 53 bean stitches. Then you're going to repeat this row of single crochets again, and you're going to have 109 single crochets, and then you're going to repeat this last row that we did of double crochets. These are the 4 rows that you're going to continue from here on, and you're going to repeat each time. Now I'm not sure how many rows I'm going to do, but continue like this, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of the 25th row, so in total I did 25 rows. If you count from here, this is the first row where we divide the sleeves. I have 25 rows. My last row here is the row of double crochets. Now it's measuring from the top of the neckline down to the end of my last row. It measures 30 centimeters, which is about 12 inches. Now, what I'm going to do here is I've already cut my yarn and passed my yarn through that last loop. With the blue color here, with this blue yarn, I'm going to bring this loop here to the front like this, chain 1, and turn. Now in this row, we're going to work front post and back post half double crochets. Now, if you prefer to do single crochets, you can. I'm just going to work half double crochet. So now into this second double crochet, make a front post half double crochet. The next one, back post half double crochet. Next one, front post half double crochet. Next one, back post half double crochet. This is how we're going to continue for this first row. So continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of this first row. Now to finish, on top of the last double crochet, we're going to make a half double crochet. Now for the next couple rows, I think I'm going to do about 4 rows. You're going to chain 1, turn, and on top of this first half double crochet right here, make a half double crochet. Then you're going to work a back post half double crochet, front post half double crochet, back post half double crochet, and front post half double crochet. This is all we're going to do. We're just going to work these stitches as they are. So continue and do about 4 rows, and I'll meet you at the end of the 4th row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this 4th row. This is where we did front post and back post half double crochets. Now to finish, I'm just going to make one last half double crochet here at the end on top of this last half double crochet like this. So this is how I finish this row. Now we're going to work single crochets along the side here. So now we're going to chain 1, and into this same stitch here, the last one that I did, I'm going to make a single crochet. Single crochet into the next. That's 2, 3, 4, and now we have double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet. We're just going to make one single crochet on each one of these stitches, into the single crochet and into the double crochet like this. So just one single crochet. So continue like this for this part, and I'll meet you here at the top, right about here, to show you how we're going to finish this row. Okay, I'm here at the top. I have 40 single crochets up to here, and this is the first row of single crochets that we did in this blue color. So that's 40. Now into these next 3 rows, we're going to make 2 single crochets on each one of these double crochets. So that's 42. Actually, on this one, I'm going to make 1. That's 43, and into this last one, 44 and 45. Let's see what it looks like. Yes, perfect. Okay, so I have 45 single crochets. Then I have, so into this first stitch right there in the very corner, I'm going to make, let's see, that's 2. I'm going to make 3 because I want to turn here. So 3 single crochets into that row of half double crochet, see right there. And now I'm just going to work 1 single crochet right here, right in between the half double crochets like this around the neckline. Let's see what it looks like. Yes, it's perfect. Okay, so continue like this, making one single crochet between each one of the half double crochets like this, and I'll meet you here at this other end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the other end of the collar. I have my last single crochet here into this stitch. So here I'm going to make 2 single crochets. Then we have this row of double crochets. So here I'm going to make 2 single crochets, then 2 single crochets, and on this next one I'm only going to make 1 like this. Now from here on, we're only going to work 1 single crochet for each row. So this is the first row of single crochet. So 1 single crochet, then we have this row of bean stitch, 1 single crochet, then again the row of single crochets, so 1, and then the row of double crochets, so that's 1, and so on. So here we're just going to do the same thing we did on the other side, and we're going to have the same number of stitches, which is 45. So continue and make these 40 single crochets, and I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at this other end. I did my single crochets here. Between here and here, there should be 40 single crochets, and then here we did 5. Okay, so now here, what we're going to do in the next row is we're going to chain 1 and turn. Here, we're going to work half double crochets on each one of these single crochets. So continue and work single crochets, and I'll meet you here, right here at the top of the neckline to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the top of this second row. Here, the next 3 stitches are the ones that we did into this last stitch here. We did 3 into that same stitch. So here, same thing, we're going to work 1 half double crochet for each one of these 3 single crochets. Okay, and here's the second row. Now for the third row, chain 1 and turn. Now here, on top of this first half double crochet, make a half double crochet. The next one, we're going to work a front post half double crochet, next one back post half double crochet. So front post half double crochet, back post half double crochet. Now if you prefer to do single crochets here instead of front post and back post half double crochets, you can. So just continue and work front post and back post half double crochets all the way down to the end. So I will meet you here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at this other end. Now this is going to be my last stitch right there. What I'm going to do is, because this part here is starting to look like it's got a rounded edge instead of a straight edge, here what I'm going to do is I'm going to work this last stitch into a front post half double crochet, and then into this same stitch right here I'm going to make another half double crochet. So here I'm adding an extra stitch. This is to fix that problem, and I think it looks a lot better like this. Okay, so now for the third row, let's see, 1 2 3. For the fourth row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now on top of this half double crochet, make a half double crochet, then the next stitch work a back post half double crochet, next one front post half double crochet, next one back post half double crochet, next one front post half double crochet. This is how we're going to work this part here, so continue and I'll meet you here at the top to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the top of the neckline now here. This is my last back post half double crochet, so now to finish right on top of this stitch right there, make a half double crochet. Now we're going to go back around the neckline, so here chain 1 and into this half double crochet that I just did, make a half double crochet into the next, half double crochet into the next, and then half double crochet into this single crochet, and now around the neckline just make half double crochets just like this. So continue like this around the neckline, and I'll meet you at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at this other end of the neckline here. This is where we have the 3 single crochets that we did. Into this first single crochet, out of the 3 I have 1 half double crochet. Now again I'm going to make 1 more into that 1 stitch, so I have 2 right there, and from here on I'm just going to continue my way down, just working 1 half double crochet on each one of the single crochets from the previous row like this. So continue and I'll meet you here at this other end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this second row. This is where we worked half double crochets here along this side. So now here for the third row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. Here on top of this first half double crochet, make a half double crochet, then this next stitch work a front post half double crochet, next one back post half double crochet, next one front post half double crochet, next one back post half double crochet. This is all we're going to do here, which is the exact same thing we did here on this other side. So continue and I'll meet you right up here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the top of the neckline. I did my last front post half double crochet. So now into this stitch right there at the end, I'm going to make a half double crochet. Now, if you notice, I haven't done any buttonholes. That is because these little holes that are left here when we work front post and back post stitches work as your buttonholes. So if you're making this little jacket for little girls, this is where you're going to use these little holes as your buttonholes, and then on this side is where you're going to put your buttons. But since we're making this little jacket for boys, this side for me is going to be the side where I'm going to use these little holes as buttonholes, and then on this side is where I'm going to put my buttons. So that is why I have not done any buttonholes whatsoever on either of the sides. So now for the fourth row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. Here on top of this first half double crochet, make a half double crochet, then work a back post half double crochet, front post half double crochet, back post half double crochet. This is all we're going to do for this fourth row. We're just going to work these stitches in the same way, front post and back post half double crochets. Continue and I'll meet you right here at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the bottom. Now to finish here, all we're going to do is just make 1 half double crochet here where we have these chains like this. Then I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to make single crochets here for this side here so that it's nice and square, just like this side here. So insert your hook into this last half double crochet that we did, and then a single crochet into this next stitch. Here you're just going to do single crochets until you come to this next stitch here. So that's, let's see, 1 2 3 4 single crochets. Then into the next stitch, make a slip stitch, cut your yarn, and then just pass your yarn through this last loop, and this part here is done. Then just hide your ends, and that's what it looks like. See? Okay, so now this part here is done. This is what it looks like. I went ahead and added my buttons. Now these buttons here that I'm using, these are 9mm buttons, and like I said, the gaps that are left between the rows that we did of front post and back post half double crochets can be used as buttonholes for either sex, either for boy or girl. If you're making this for a little girl, you're going to put your buttons on this side. Now that since this is for a little boy, I'm going to put my buttons here on this other side. Now many of you have asked me how I put my buttons in there. Now I've shown this in many other videos, so I'm going to show it to you here again. So I have my little button. I just pass a little piece of this yarn here. And what I'm going to do is I've been putting my buttons every, let's see, 1 2 3, every fourth and right in the center of every stitch. So here at the end, I don't quite have 4 stitches, but I'm still going to add 1 more here just to show you. So just insert this yarn here through one side of the stitch, this stitch here, and then through the other side. You can use some needles here, it's much easier. So now pull here, and now just tie a knot like this, and then again. And now all you're going to do is just weave your ends either here on the side or right through the center, which is what I did. See, right there, you can't really see where it is. And that's all there is to putting your buttons in there. I don't like to sew, so I prefer to just tie them in there like that. Okay, so here's this part here done. That's what it looks like. So now we're going to do one of the sleeves. So we're going to go here to this side, and we're going to go right under the sleeve. We're going to use the same hook here. So just find a spot here right in the very center. right about there, grab a loop. I'm going to use this white color. I'm going to do my sleeves in white. You can do blue if you want, or every other row like we did here. I'm just going to do them in the exact same way I did the rest of the sweater. So here, chain 2, and into this same stitch here, make a double crochet. Now between here and here, we're going to make a total of 3 double crochets. So there's 1. Let's see, I'm going to skip these 2 stitches into the next space, make a double crochet. That's 2. Skip another 2. That's 3 double crochets, and now we're going to work a stitch reduction. So insert your hook into this gap there, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, yarn over, insert your hook here where we have this double crochet, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, close. Now again, yarn over, insert your hook into this stitch. This stitch has this double crochet, so into that same stitch, insert your hook, take 2 loops off, yarn over, and into this first single crochet, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, close. So now here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. Now we're going to continue all around the sleeve, just making 1 double crochet for each one of the single crochets that we have. So continue, and I'll meet you here at this other side to show you how we're going to finish this first row. Okay, I'm here at this other end of the sleeve. Up to here, I have a total of 37 double crochets. Now, we're going to work the 2 stitch reductions that we did here on this other side. So here to do that, I still have 1 last single crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook into this last single crochet, take 2 loops off, yarn over, insert your hook into this stitch. This stitch has this double crochet, so into that same stitch, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, close. Here's 1 stitch reduction. Now again, yarn over, insert your hook here where we have this double crochet, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, yarn over, then here insert your hook into this space right there, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, close. So here are our 2 stitch reductions. Now, like I said, I had 37 stitches up to here, so that's 37, 38, 39, and I'm going to do 2 more so that we finish with 41 stitches all around. So yarn over, skip these 2 stitches, make a double crochet, and into the next stitch right there, make another double crochet. So that's 41 double crochets. To finish this row, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished the first row with 41 double crochets. Now for the second row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. Here I'm going to turn for every row so that the design is the same as what we have here for the body of the sweater, like this. If you don't want to turn, then that's fine. You don't have to turn, but it's going to look a little bit different. Okay, so here, what I'm going to do is we're going to work the row of single crochets like this here. I'm not going to change color, but if you want to change color, this is where you would change color so that these next 3 rows are in blue. I'm just going to continue in white. Okay, so here, into this next double crochet right there, I'm going to make my first single crochet. Make a single crochet on top of the next, that's 2, and then we have these 2 stitch reductions that we did. So we have 2 stitches. So insert your hook into the first stitch, grab a loop, insert your hook into the next, grab a loop. I have 3 loops, close. Here I did a stitch reduction. Now here we're just going to continue around the sleeve, just working single crochets like this. So continue, and I'll meet you right here at this other end to show you how we're going to finish this second row. Okay, I'm here at this other side. This is the second row. This is where we've been doing single crochets. Now up to here, I have a total of 35 single crochets, and these next 2 stitches are the 2 stitch reductions that we worked on the first row. So here, we're going to work the stitch reduction that we did at the beginning of the second row. So insert your hook into the next stitch, grab a loop, into the next stitch, grab a loop, 3 loops on the hook, close. So this stitch here counts as 1 single crochet. So now I have 36, and into these last 3 stitches, 1 single crochet on each. So that's 37, 38, and 39. So I have 39 single crochets. To finish, we're going to go on top of the first single crochet, not the chain, on top of the first single crochet, insert your hook, and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished the second row with a total of 39 single crochets. Now for the third row, chain 2 and turn. Now in this third row, we're going to work bean stitches just like we did here. So to do that, we're going to skip 1 single crochet and into the next make your bean stitch. So insert your hook, grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, 6 loops on the hook, close, chain 1. Again, skip 1 single crochet and into the next, grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, 6 loops, close, chain 1. Again, skip 1 single crochet and into the next, make another bean stitch. This is how we're going to continue for this row. So continue, and I'll meet you here at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this third row. I have a total of 19 bean stitches. Now, to finish this row, we're just going to go here to the side where we have the 2 chains and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished this third row with 19 bean stitches. Now, from here on, you're just going to repeat the same design. We're going to work a row of single crochets, the bean stitch row, the single crochet row, and then the row of double crochets. So for the fourth row, we need to do another row of single crochets. So from here on, for each row of single crochets, you're always going to have 39 single crochets, and for the row of double crochets, same thing, 39 double crochets. And then for the row of bean stitches, it's always going to be 19. So now for the fourth row, where we do single crochets, chain 1 and turn. Here we're going to make our first single crochet right here between the first bean stitch and the 2 chains. So right there, insert your hook and make your first single crochet, and then between each bean stitch we're going to make 2 stitches, 2 single crochets. So into the first stitch, make 1 single crochet, into the next, 1 single crochet, and then same thing between the next 2 single crochets. Continue like this all around for this fourth row. At the end of the fourth row, you should have 39 single crochets. Continue like this, and I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this fourth row. In this fourth row, we did single crochets all around, and I have a total of 39 single crochets. Here at the end, don't forget to do your 2 single crochets. For each gap that you see in between the bean stitches, there should be 2 single crochets, except here at the beginning where there should only be 1. So now to finish this row, go on top of the first single crochet and join with a slip stitch. Now, for the fifth row, we're going to do the row of double crochet. So to do that, you're going to chain 2 and turn. Now here, what you can do is we need to make your first double crochet. You can either make it here where you do the slip stitch right there, or you can go back into this gap. I'm going to go back here into this hole right there. It doesn't matter. Whatever is easier. So there's the double crochet. Then from here on, we're just going to work 1 double crochet for each one of the single crochets. At the end of this fifth row, you should have a total of 39 double crochets. Continue like this, and I'll meet you at the end of this fifth row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this fifth row. This is where we did double crochets. Now to finish, I'm going to go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished the fifth row with a total of 39 double crochets. Now for the sixth row, we need to do the row of single crochets again. So we're going to do this row here because the next row is going to be the row of bean stitches. So to do that, you're going to chain 1 and turn. Now here, you're going to go back into this space right here, right there, see? So insert your hook there and make a single crochet. That's your first single crochet. Then into the next, make a single crochet into the next, and so on. For this sixth row, you should end with a total of 39 single crochets. So continue like this, and I'll meet you here at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this 6th row. This is where we did single crochets, and I have a total of 39 single crochets. To finish, we're going to go here to the top of the first single crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished the 6th row. Now from here on, you're just going to repeat the same thing. You're going to repeat these 4 rows. Single crochet row, bean stitch row, single crochet row, and then double crochet row. We already did the single crochet row, which is this one here, so now you're going to do the row of bean stitches. So to start you off, you're going to chain 2 and turn, skip this single crochet that's next to the one where we joined, this one, and then to the next, make your first bean stitch. Insert your hook, grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, yarn over, grab a loop, 6 loops, close, chain 1, skip 1 single crochet, and into the next make another bean stitch. At the end of this 7th row, you should have a total of 19 bean stitches. So continue and repeat these 4 rows. I'm not exactly sure how many rows I'm going to do, but continue and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I did a total of 24 rows. My last row here is the row of single crochets, and I have a total of 6 rows of bean stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, what I did here at the end was just join to the first single crochet with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and pass my yarn through that last loop. So now, with this color blue, what we're going to do is we're going to go here into this next single crochet. This is where we have the slip stitch, so into this next single crochet, grab a loop, in this color blue, chain 1. Now into the next single crochet, make a half double crochet, into the next a half double crochet into the next, and so on. For this row, this is all I'm going to do. I'm just going to make half double crochets all around. So continue like this, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this row of half double crochets, and I have a total of 39 half double crochets, not including the first chain here. Now to finish, go to the side here where we have the chain and join with a slip stitch. And this is how we finish this row. Now for the next row, you're going to chain 1, and in this row and the next, you're going to work front post and back post half double crochet. So beginning into this first stitch, make a front post half double crochet, next one back post half double crochet, next one front post half double crochet, and so on. You're going to do this for 1 more row, so finish this row and then make 1 more, and I'll meet you at the end of that 3rd row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished this 2nd row of front post and back post half double crochet. So in total we did 3 rows, and this part here is done. All I did was just join to the beginning with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and pass my yarn through that last loop, and this sleeve here is done, and that's what it looks like. Now you're going to do the exact same thing we did here on this side, you're going to do here on this other side. I already did mine. I did it exactly in the same way, so this is what it looks like. And this is the back. Here's the back of the little jacket. That's what it looks like. Here's the bottom. Here's the other sleeve. This is the front here. And the bottom. That's what it looks like. So let me give you the measurements of the finished sweater. From the top of the neckline down to the end of the sleeve, it's measuring 11.75 inches, which is about 30 centimeters. From the bottom of the sleeve to the end of the sleeve, it measures 17 centimeters, which is about 6.75 inches. From the top of the neckline down to the bottom here, it measures 12.5 inches, which is about 32 centimeters, and around the chest right here, it's measuring about 51 centimeters, which is about 20 inches. So based on those measurements, this little jacket here is for a baby between 6 and 9 months. Now you can also make it smaller for a baby between 3 and 6 months. All you have to do is just use a 3mm crochet hook with number 3 baby yarn, and for a baby between 9 and 12 months, use a 4mm crochet hook also with baby yarn number 3 or DK weight yarn. And for a baby between 12 and 18 months, same thing, DK weight yarn or baby yarn with a 4.5mm crochet hook. So this has been today's tutorial. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.